Ladies, let me tell you something. Respect ain't something you walk up and snatch from people. You can't just walk in a room and say, y'all better respect me. Nah, it don't work like that. Respect is something you earn. And the crazy part is, most of the time, people are deciding whether to respect you or not before you even open your mouth. See, that's where psychology comes in. It's not about tricks. It's about understanding how people think, how they respond, and how you can carry yourself in a way that makes them look at you and say, that right there is somebody I can't help but respect. Well, now, I know what some of y'all are thinking. Well, I ain't perfect. Let me set you free tonight. Respect don't require perfection. People don't respect perfect. They respect real. They respect consistency. They respect when your actions line up with your words. Because when you show up steady, even when life is shaky, folks recognize that strength. And then there's communication. Let's be honest. How you say things matters just as much as what you say. You can walk into a room with the best ideas, but if your tone is weak or your delivery is scattered, people tune you out. But when you learn to communicate with confidence, with clarity, with a little fire in your voice, people can't help but stop and listen. But here's the biggest secret: respect starts with you. If you don't value yourself, nobody else is going to do it for you. You teach people how to treat you. The way you walk, the way you hold your head up, the way you decide you deserve better, that's the psychology of self-respect. And once you lock that in, everybody else just follows suit. So today I'm going to share with you 5 simple, powerful secrets from psychology that'll make people respect you without you ever having to beg for it. And let me tell you something. When you put these into practice, you won't just get respect, you'll command it. Ladies, let me tell you something real. Respect is one of those things everybody wants, but not everybody knows how to get. You can't just walk into a room and demand it. You can't clap your hands and say, all right, y'all, I'm here. Now give me my respect. That's not how life works. Respect is like a seed. You got to plant it, water it, and nurture it through the way you carry yourself. People watch you. People feel your energy. People notice the little things about how you move through this world, and before you even say a word, they've already started to decide if you're someone they respect or not. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people waste too much energy trying to force people to respect them. You ever seen somebody loud, trying to prove how important they are? Talking over everybody, bragging about what they got, what they done, who they know. See, that ain't respect. That's insecurity dressed up in noise. Real respect don't come from what you demand. It comes from what you consistently show. People might clap for you because you loud. They might nod their heads because you flashy. But deep down, they ain't giving you their respect. And the truth is, the moment you leave the room, they ain't thinking about you at all. But when you carry yourself with dignity, when you walk with a certain kind of quiet strength, people feel it. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to prove it. You don't have to beg for it. They just know. It's in the way you handle situations that could break somebody else down, but you keep your head high. It's in the way you treat people who can't do nothing for you. It's in the way you show up on time, keep your word, and handle your business without making excuses. That's the kind of stuff that builds respect, brick by brick. Now, here's the thing. Respect is earned through the small choices you make every day. It's in the way you carry yourself when nobody's watching. See, anybody can put on a front when the spotlight's on them. But when you think nobody sees you, when it's just you and your thoughts, your habits, your decisions, that's when your character gets built. And character is what earns you respect in the long run. Because eventually, the truth about who you really are always shows up. Think about the people in your own life that you respect the most. It probably ain't because they told you to respect them. It's because you watched how they lived. Maybe it was a grandmother who didn't have much money, but carried herself with grace and kindness. Maybe it was a teacher who didn't just show up for the paycheck, but poured into you because they believed in you. Maybe it's a friend who never let you down, no matter how hard things got. Those people didn't demand your respect. They earned it through how they carried themselves. And let me say this, respect has nothing to do with titles or positions. Some folks think because they got a certain role, or they make a certain amount of money, or they got a big name, that people have to respect them. But respect doesn't come with the title. It comes with the person. You can have the title, but if your character is shaky, if you treat people bad, if your word can't be trusted, people might follow your rules, but they will never give you their true respect. On the flip side, you can be in a room with no title, no big paycheck, no spotlight, and still be the most respected person there because of how you carry yourself. Now, ladies, let me remind you of something powerful. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. If you walk around shrinking, apologizing for your presence, second-guessing every move, people pick up on that energy. And they'll treat you the way you treat yourself. But when you carry yourself with pride, not arrogance, but pride, when you walk into a room with your head up, shoulders back, and that quiet belief that you belong there, people feel that too. They respect that. Respect starts inside before it shows up outside. And it's not about being perfect, because let me tell you right now, perfection don't exist. You can make mistakes, you can fall down, you can get it wrong sometimes. That don't take respect away from you. What people respect is how you respond to those mistakes. Do you own it, learn from it, get back up and keep moving? Or do you make excuses, blame everybody else, and quit when it gets hard? See how you carry yourself in the tough moments. That's where respect is either built or broken. Respect also grows in how you treat other people, because folks are always watching how you handle those moments. Do you talk down to the waiter? Do you ignore the person cleaning the room? Do you roll your eyes at people who can't do anything for you? Or do you treat everybody with a level of kindness and dignity? That's the mark of somebody who gets real respect, because respect given usually comes back around as respect earned. At the end of the day, you don't gotta beg for respect. You don't gotta demand it. You just gotta carry yourself in a way that makes it impossible for people to overlook. The way you stand, the way you speak, the way you handle yourself in both the big moments and the small ones, that's the psychology of respect. And once you understand that, once you start living that, respect follows you wherever you go. Ladies, let me break this down to you. Every single day, whether you know it or not, you're sending signals to people about who you are. I'm not talking about the big dramatic gestures either. I'm talking about the small, subtle things. Your tone of voice, the way you stand, the look in your eye, even the pauses between your words. Psychology teaches us that people are constantly picking up on these signals, and they shape how others see you long before you ever get the chance to explain yourself. You think folks are listening to all your words, but truth be told, they're reading your energy before you even finish the first sentence. Now here's what's wild. Most people don't realize they're doing this. They walk into a room and think only about what they're going to say. They rehearse the words, they practice the lines, but they forget that how you present yourself speaks louder than anything coming out of your mouth. Psychology proves it. Studies show people make a judgment about you in the first few seconds, and once they've made that impression, it's hard to shake. So if you come in looking unsure, mumbling, avoiding eye contact, or slouching, you just sent a message. You didn't say a word, but your body told the whole story. That's why I say psychology gives you tools. It's like having the cheat codes to life. When you know how people's minds work, you can guide how they see you without forcing anything. For example, let's talk about eye contact. You don't have to stare somebody down like you're trying to fight them, but looking a person in the eye when you speak shows confidence. It shows honesty. It tells them, I'm not hiding, I'm right here. And when people feel that, they give you more respect without you saying a thing. Or think about your posture. I've seen people with the sharpest ideas in the room lose all credibility because they walked in hunched over, head down, looking like they were apologizing just for being there. Psychology teaches us that your brain and your body work together. When you stand tall, shoulders back, even if you don't feel confident in that moment, your brain starts believing you are. And the people watching you, they believe it too. That's the silent power of psychology. It changes how you see yourself and how others see you at the same time. And let's not forget about tone. You ever notice how some folks could say the exact same sentence as somebody else, but it just lands differently? One person says it flat, with no conviction, and it floats away like it didn't matter. But another person says it with just the right amount of confidence and energy, and everybody stops to listen. That ain't magic, that's psychology. People respond to certainty. When you speak with certainty, even if you don't have all the answers, people lean in because you sound like you believe what you're saying. And when you believe, they believe. But here's the beautiful thing about these tools. They're not about pretending to be somebody else. They're about unlocking what's already inside you. See, everybody in this room has strength, confidence, wisdom, but sometimes life beats us down, makes us doubt ourselves, makes us shrink a little. Psychology just reminds you of what's already in you and helps you show it to the world. When you practice carrying yourself with confidence, when you use these little tools, eye contact, posture, tone, you're not faking it. You're letting the world see the version of you that's been there all along. And I want to be real clear, these tools work even in silence. You don't have to always be the loudest in the room to command respect. Sometimes the most powerful person is the one who listens, nods, takes it all in. And then when they finally speak, everybody stops because they've already been paying attention. That's psychology at work too. People respect presence. They respect calm strength. They respect when you're not rushing to prove yourself. But instead, you carry yourself like you know you belong. Think about it this way. Life is like a stage, and whether you ask for it or not, you're always performing. People are always watching. And psychology is just the script running underneath the performance, shaping the way the audience reacts. Now, you can go through life ignoring it, hoping people get you, hoping they see you the right way, or you can learn how to use these tools and make sure you're sending the message you want to send. For example, let's say you're at work, presenting an idea. You don't just throw the idea out there like you're unsure if it's any good. You sit up straight, look people in the eye, and speak with a tone that says, I've thought about this, I believe in this, and you should too. That simple shift in delivery can be the difference between people brushing you off or respecting your voice. Same words, different psychology. And ladies, let me tell you, this matters even more in everyday life. Whether it's with family, friends, co-workers, or strangers, the way you carry yourself sets the tone for how people treat you. If you want respect, you got to understand that people are constantly reading you, even when you think they're not. So use that to your advantage. Show them through your posture, your eye contact, your tone, your presence that you respect yourself. And when you do that, you're shaping their minds silently to respect you too. Let me tell you something powerful. People out here chasing perfection like it's the key to respect. But that's not the truth. The real key is consistency. Folks don't respect perfect because perfect don't even exist. Everybody got flaws, everybody makes mistakes, everybody stumbles. And when you're trying to act perfect, people see through it. They know it's a mask, they know it's not real. But when you're consistent, when you keep showing up, when you keep doing what you said you'd do, when your actions line up with your words, now that's when people sit back and say, okay, I can respect that. See, perfection is shiny, but it's fake. Consistency is steady, and steady builds trust. You ever know somebody who always got these big promises, always telling you about the next big thing they're going to do, but they never follow through? They might get people excited for a minute, but after a while, nobody takes them seriously. Why? Because they're not consistent. On the other hand, you might know somebody who ain't flashy, who ain't bragging about what they're going to do, but every time they say they'll show up, they're there. Every time they say they'll handle something, it gets handled. That's the person people respect, not because they're perfect, but because they're steady. Now, consistency don't mean you never fall. It don't mean you never miss a step. It means even when you fall, you get back up. Even when you mess up, you own it. You fix it, and you keep moving. People respect that more than some image of perfection. Because let's be real, perfection feels fake, but consistency feels trustworthy. Think about relationships. If you're with somebody who's always putting on a show, trying to be perfect, trying to impress you, sooner or later you realize it's just a show. But if you're with somebody who shows up the same way day after day, who loves you on the good days and the bad days, who's steady when life is shaky, that's where the real respect is built. Same thing happens at work. A boss who tries to look perfect all the time, who acts like they got it all together, but never admits mistakes, loses respect quick. But a boss who's consistent, who treats people fairly, who owns up when they're wrong, who leads steady, that's the one who earns respect. Let me break it down like this. Consistency is about reliability, and reliability builds security. People want to know they can count on you. They don't care if you're perfect, because nobody is. But if they know you're reliable, if they know you'll be there, if they know you'll do what you said, that's worth more than perfect any day. And this ain't just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself too. When you're chasing perfection, you'll always feel like you're failing. You'll always feel like you're not enough, because perfection can't be reached. But when you focus on consistency, you start to build confidence. You start to trust yourself. You realize, I don't have to do it all perfectly. I just have to keep showing up. And when you trust yourself, people around you start trusting you too. Now let's talk about why consistency speaks louder than perfection. Perfection is about appearances. It's about what things look like on the outside. Consistency is about substance. It's about what things really are on the inside. Perfection might impress people for a moment, but consistency earns respect for a lifetime. Because people are watching not just what you do once, but what you do over and over again. Let's say you're trying to build respect in your family. If you're perfect one day, making a big gesture, cooking a fancy dinner, buying a big gift, but then you disappear for a week, that gesture doesn't hold. But if you're there every day, showing up in small ways, listening, supporting, helping, being present, that consistency speaks louder than any one perfect moment. And ladies, let me say this. Sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect, to have it all together, to never show weakness. But the truth is, people don't respect the mask, they respect the real. When you're consistent in your love, consistent in your values, consistent in your actions, even when you're not perfect, that's when people really admire you. Your kids don't need you perfect, they need you steady. Your friends don't need you perfect, they need you dependable. Your coworkers don't need you flawless, they need you consistent. You know why consistency is so powerful? Because it builds reputation. Over time, people come to know you for how you move, not just what you say. If your reputation is that you're consistent, people will trust you, listen to you, and respect you before you even open your mouth. That's the kind of power consistency gives you. So don't waste your energy chasing perfection. Don't get caught up trying to polish an image that nobody believes anyway. Put that energy into being consistent, into being the person who shows up, who follows through, who keeps steady no matter what life throws at you. That's what earns real, lasting respect. Let me tell you something. The way you communicate will either build respect around you or tear it down faster than anything else. You can have the smartest ideas, the best intentions, the biggest dreams, but if you can't communicate them the right way, people won't take you seriously. And here's the truth. Communication ain't just about the words coming out of your mouth. It's about the tone, the body language, the timing, and the way you make people feel when you speak. Folks remember how you made them feel more than what you actually said. That's why the way you communicate can be the deciding factor between being respected or being overlooked. Think about it. You've probably seen someone step up to talk, and the whole room just leaned in like every word mattered. And you've probably seen the opposite too. Somebody steps up, starts talking, and 5 minutes later, half the room is checking their phone. Now, it's not always because of the content. It's about how they delivered it. Communication has the power to command attention or lose it in a heartbeat. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking communication is only about talking. No, communication is about connection. If you're talking just to be heard, people might nod, but they won't respect you. But if you're talking to connect, If you're speaking in a way that shows you understand them, that you value them, that you see them, that's when respect starts to grow. People respect those who make them feel seen and heard. Tone plays a huge role too. You could say the exact same sentence two different ways and get two completely different reactions. Say it timid, people might ignore it. Say it aggressive, people might resist it. But say it with calm confidence, people pay attention. Tone tells people whether or not to respect what you're saying. And sometimes silence communicates even more than words. Knowing when to pause, when to let your words breathe, when to just listen, that's powerful communication. Body language matters just as much. You can be saying all the right words, but if you're fidgeting, slouching, avoiding eye